what's up everybody, it's Charlie. On today's episode I'm going to be showing you how to make my homemade southern green beans from scratch. These green beans has smoked bacon, smoked sausage, and it even has potatoes in it. Now, how do we go by creating this wonderful, flavorful dish? Well, we first start off by rinsing and cutting our green beans. From there we're going to chop up all of our meats, seasonings, etc. Then we're going to saute our smoked sausage and potatoes in one pan, and our seasonings like our onion, garlic, and our meat such as our smoked bacon in a separate pan. From there we're going to combine that along with our green beans and a liquid into a large saucepan, and we're going to let it cook down. Now in the process, the flavors from the smoked bacon, the smoked sausage, and all the seasonings that we've added is going to combine and come together and create a wonderful, flavorful stock. And the green beans and the potatoes is going to soak up all those flavors. And from there you have it. Homemade green beans. This recipe calls for about 4 to 6 servings, enough to serve about 4 to 6 people. Not only is it tender, flavorful, it's delicious too. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, here's all what you'll need to make your southern green beans. Let's get started with our ingredients. You will need 2 pounds of fresh green beans, 1 pound of pork joe bacon. Now this is a smoked bacon. You can also use smoked turkey as well. You will also need some D&D smoked sausage. If you don't want the smoked sausage with the pork in it, you can always use chicken or turkey smoked sausage, alright? You will also need some unsalted butter, 1 russet potato, and for your seasonings you will need some Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning. Now if you don't have this, you can use the Zatarain's Creole seasoning or the Slap Your Mama Cajun seasoning. And along with that, you're going to need some Chef Paul Prudhomme's Vegetable Magic. I'm going to have the link to where you can purchase this in the description box. You will also need some onion powder, garlic powder, and for our additional seasonings you will need 1 yellow onion and some garlic. And there we have it. Alright, let's get straight to it. We're going to get started by chopping up 1 yellow onion. This is a demonstration on how I chop up my onion. Looks pretty simple, right? Now here we have 4 cloves of garlic. We cut the garlic cloves in half, of course. Now we're going to go ahead and chop this up until it is minced. Now you want to make sure you chop that up good now. Now we're going to go ahead and add our green beans into a strainer. And we're going to rinse our green beans off with cold water. Alright, here we have our green beans. Now, as you can see at the end of those green beans, they got those little stems. I don't really like that. So I'm going to go ahead and take my knife and I'm just going to cut those stems off. And I'm going to just discard that. Alright. And I'm going to do the same thing to the opposite side. I'm going to just go ahead and cut those stems off. Cut the ends off. Now if you want to, you can leave the green bean whole. Or what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut mine in half. And you can do this to all 2 pounds of green beans. Alright, here we have a potato peeler with our russet potato. We're just going to go ahead and peel 1 russet potato. Make sure you peel it really good now. Alright. You don't want no blemishes or nothing on there. Alright, now at this time, we're going to go ahead and cut the russet potato. I just cut it in half. Now we're going to go ahead and cut this into quarter pieces. Alright. Just going to cut those into quarter pieces. Now any large chunks, we're just going to cut those in half. Alright. Want to make sure that they're small bite-sized pieces. Alright, here we have 2 cups of cold water into a small bowl. We're going to add 2 teaspoons of vinegar. I'm going to give that a quick stir. Make sure that's combined. Alright. Now we're going to add our potato cubes into the vinegar and water solution. Not only does this help clean the potatoes, but it also prevents them from turning brown. Now just going to give that a quick stir. And we're just going to let this sit for about 5 minutes while we prepare everything else. Alright, here we have our smoked bacon. We're just going to take our knife and we're just going to cut this into thin slices. Like how you see here. Now you can slice it however way you want to, but I'm just thin slicing mine. And remember, you could also use smoked turkey if you don't want to use the smoked bacon. Alright, and from there we're just going to take each individual slice of bacon and we're just going to cut that into small bite-sized pieces. Now, as y'all can see here, I'm kind of backwards with this. I'm supposed to cut it horizontally in half first, like how you see here. Now this is much better. There we go. Much better. It's looking pretty good so far. Now we're going to go ahead and slice our de-induced smoked sausage into slices. Just as you see here. And now we're going to go ahead and take those slices and we're going to cut those into quarter pieces. Sorry y'all, y'all hear that boop 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 sound. That's my camera shaking. That's because I ain't stabilized my tripod. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and add our potatoes into a strainer. They have soaked enough. Now we're going to preheat our fire to medium-high heat. Now let's get started with searing our smoked sausage and potatoes. In a large saucepan, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of unsalted butter. And we're just going to spread that butter around our saucepan. And we're going to let that melt. Now we're going to add our chopped smoked sausage. And to that we're going to add our potato cubes. Now we're going to go ahead and give this a quick stir. Alright. Now we're going to go ahead and cover this, and we're going to let this saute for about 10 minutes, stirring every 2 minutes. Alright y'all, it's been about 10 minutes now, and as you can see, our smoked sausage and potatoes are nice and golden brown. Now we're going to turn our fire off. Alright, now once done, you're going to take this and transfer this onto a serving plate and cover it with aluminum foil so that way it can stay warm. Now we're going to preheat our fire to medium-high heat. In that same large saucepan, we're going to add our smoked bacon. Just add it in there all at once. Now remember, you could also use smoked turkey too now, alright? Now we're going to go ahead and give this a quick stir. Now what we want to achieve is we want that bacon to be a nice golden brown, and we also want to remove that grease because you know bacon, it releases a lot of grease when it cooks, alright? I gotta shake it a little bit. Now we're going to go ahead and cover this, and we're going to let this saute for about 10 minutes, stirring occasionally. Alright y'all, it's been about 10 minutes now, and as you can see our bacon is a nice golden brown, and as you can see it released a lot of grease. Look at all that grease. You don't need all that in there. Now at this time we're going to go ahead and turn our fire off. Now here we have a strainer with a bowl underneath it. We're just going to take that bacon and we're just going to pour that into the strainer. And that's going to drain all that grease out of there. Now I'm going to show y'all this. Look at all that grease. We don't need all that grease in our green beans, alright? Now you're going to reserve that. Now we're going to use a little bit of that. Now we're going to preheat our fire to medium-high heat again, alright? In that same saucepan, here we have our meat drippings. We're just going to add about 1 tablespoon of that in there, alright? And the rest of it you could just discard it, alright? Just get rid of it. Alright, and to that we're going to add 3 tablespoons of unsalted butter to that. Now I'm just going to spread that butter around the saucepan to get that nice and melted. Alright. It's looking pretty good so far. Alright, now let's add some seasoning. We're going to add 1 1/3 cups of chopped yellow onion. And to that we're going to add 1 tablespoon of chopped garlic. Now we're just going to stir all our ingredients together. Make sure you stir that really nice now. Give that a quick shake. Da 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 da. Now we're going to go ahead and cover this with a lid, and we're going to let this saute for about 5 minutes, stirring occasionally. Alright y'all, it's been about 5 minutes now, and as you can see, our onions and our garlic is nice and caramelized. Looks good. Beautiful. Alright, now at this time we're going to go ahead and add our green beans. To be honest, I want to add my liquid in there, but oh well. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and give this a quick stir. Gotta work with what we have now. Now we're going to go ahead and add the liquid. So I'm adding 2 1/2 cups of water in there, of course. Now let's add some seasoning. We're going to add 1/4 teaspoon of Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning. And to that we're going to add 1 teaspoon of Chef Paul Prud'homme's Vegetable Magic. Alright, now we're going to add 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, and this is what's going to make it special, make it a nice broth. We're going to add our smoked bacon right in there. Ooh, that's going to make it taste wonderful. Now we're going to go ahead and give this a quick stir. Make sure all that's combined in there, ready to go. Make sure it's all mixed in, looking good. Looks nice. Now we're going to go ahead and cover this, and we're going to let this simmer for 25 minutes, stirring occasionally. Alright y'all, it's been about 25 minutes. Now look how beautiful that is. Oh man, and as you can see, the liquid has cooked down and it's made a nice, wonderful broth. Now we're going to add our smoked sausage and potatoes. Just add that in there all at once. Now we're going to go ahead and give this a quick stir. Want to make sure you stir this really nice. Alright, don't stir it too much now. Now the potatoes and the smoked sausage is already cooked, so we don't need to cook this too long. Now we're going to go ahead and cover this, and we're going to let this simmer for 2 minutes. Alright y'all, it's been about 2 minutes now. And our homemade green beans is now done. Looks delicious. Now we're going to go ahead and turn our fire off. Now you're going to let this cool for about 10 to 20 minutes before serving. For best results, you can serve this the very next day, so that way the flavors can settle and increase overnight, and the flavor will taste better the next day. Here is the final presentation. And there you have it, homemade southern green beans, made from scratch by a New Orleans native. If you like my channel, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell button if you want to be notified of my videos. You can also check out this recipe, as well as all of my other recipes. Go to www.charliethecookandrews.com. You can also find me on Facebook and on Instagram under the name Charlie the Cook Andrews. Stay tuned as Charlie's Taste Test is coming up next. Can't wait. Now it's time to go ahead and take a bite. Oh man, look at this. Oh. It's so good. I mean, you have all the flavors from the smoked bacon, the sausage, and all the seasoning that we added. Like I said in the beginning of the video, those green beans and those potatoes soaked up all the flavors from the broth. I mean, it is so tender, flavorful, and absolutely delicious. Oh yes. Anyways, I'm just joking. I'm just playing around. Anyways, give the recipe a try. I hope you all enjoyed the video. And until next time, have a good one. Peace.